Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Isaiah Blackwell, and today we've got something a little spicy to talk about.
So listen, today I want to dive into what's been going on with soccer star Nicolas Pépé. Yeah, you heard that right, because apparently he's been in a relationship with Teanna Trump for the past 2 years. Now here's where it gets interesting. Reports say he even left his ex to be with her. And not only that, there have been rumors floating around that he was actually thinking about marrying her. Yeah, you already know this story is about to get messy. So in today's video, we're breaking it all down. What's real, what's just rumors, and what this could mean for his career and public image.
Make sure you stay till the end, because trust me, this one gets wild.
Now you already know, once talk like that hits the internet, things start getting messy fast. In this video, we're breaking everything down piece by piece. What's confirmed, what sounds shaky, and how all of this could hit his image and career moving forward. Make sure you stay locked in, because this story keeps escalating and it does not slow down. On top of that, there was also that catfishing situation where a guy reportedly used her identity to trick other men, which just added more confusion to the whole situation. Then, DJ Academic stepped in and reposted it, spreading it even further, saying it's sad to see black love dissolved, while sharing that Nicolas Pépé and Teanna Trump had split after 2 years.
And then Pepe finally spoke up himself and shut a lot of things down directly.
He said, "Instead of asking me questions, I'm going to answer. Overall, I am now single. I've never talked about marriage and even less talked about giving money to anyone. Please stop talking for no reason." That statement alone flipped the whole conversation, because now people are questioning what was real and what got blown out of proportion.
You just had that catfishing situation pop up where her name got dragged into that whole mess, and right after that, now he's publicly announcing the breakup?
That's not a coincidence people can just ignore. What makes it even crazier is, not too long ago, they were looking super close, real affectionate, like everything was solid. So now everybody's sitting here wondering, what actually changed? Did things start getting serious and he backed off because he wasn't trying to go that far? Or maybe she expected more from the situation and it didn't match what he had in mind. Some people even thinking she believed she finally found something stable with a high-profile athlete, a whole different lifestyle, and it just didn't play out like that.
Go ahead. Shout out to At Your Shoot for shooting the club up.
Either way, whatever was going on behind the scenes clearly shifted fast. And then, when you look deeper, it raises even more questions. He was previously in another relationship, shares a child from that situation, and then quickly moved on into this one with Teanna Trump. That kind of switch up has people talking heavy. So now it's like, was this something serious to him, or just a moment he got caught up in? Because the way it all played out, it's got people looking at the situation from every angle. See, this is where people need to really look at the bigger picture. When it comes to adult film stars, a lot of the men they end up dating were already fans at some point. Status doesn't erase that. It doesn't matter if he's rich, famous, or a top athlete. That interest usually starts somewhere, and that can shape how the whole situation plays out. So when you look at this, it starts to feel like maybe he was just enjoying the moment instead of thinking long term. Now the real question is, did he get too caught up in it? That's possible, but the fact that he came out and made that clear statement tells a different story. Once everything started going public and people began reacting, analyzing, and throwing marriage rumors into the mix, it probably changed how he viewed the situation. Seeing all that pressure build up can make someone step back real quick. And when people started pushing that marriage narrative, it seems like he wasn't on that same page at all. At the end of the day, situations like this don't always turn into something serious. Sometimes it's just a connection that runs its course, and one person might expect more than the other's ready to give. From the outside looking in, it feels like she may have wanted something deeper while he was keeping it more casual, and that mismatch is where everything started to fall apart.
It really comes off like she wanted more than he was ready to give, and that gap right there can break things fast.
A lot of these situations start online now. Social media makes everything feel close, even when people are living in completely different parts of the world. You've got access to anyone, anywhere, and that's exactly how something like this can even begin. She's based in North America, he's out in Europe, And somehow they connect, link up, and things move quickly from there. But here's another layer people are noticing, this pattern starting to show up. You've got several American women linking up with soccer players overseas, and it's catching attention. You see it with Saweetie, who's been connected to a player in the UK, and now this situation adds to that conversation. It's starting to look less random and more like a trend people are watching closely. And then some folks take it even further, saying when certain relationships don't work out in the States or when things slow down, the move becomes going overseas and starting fresh. You've seen examples brought up like Megan Thee Stallion, where after a very public situation, she was spotted overseas with a soccer player too. That didn't seem to last long either, and she ended up back in the US. All of this just adds more layers to how people are interpreting what's really going on behind these moves. But something else people keep pointing out is how these situations play out when options start looking different. You'll see some women switch things up and start looking overseas, especially toward high-profile athletes like European soccer players. Social media makes that jump feel easy, and before you know it, connections are being made across continents. But at the same time, a lot of people are questioning the intentions behind these link-ups. Looking at this situation, some feel like he never saw it as something deeply serious. From that perspective, it comes off more like he was caught up in the moment rather than planning anything long-term. You have to remember, he's not just a regular guy, he's a global athlete with an image to protect, and every move gets watched closely. So when marriage rumors started spreading, a lot of people doubted that was ever really on his radar. There's also speculation floating around about how some of these rumors even started in the first place. Now, to be clear, none of that is confirmed, but people online have been throwing out theories, including whether certain narratives were pushed to shape how the situation looked publicly. Others have pointed to her online presence, mentioning platforms like OnlyFans, and wondering if that could have created tension or played a role in how things unfolded. Again, that's all talk from the outside looking in. At the end of the day, the way it all unfolded makes it seem like he was just enjoying the experience while it lasted, which honestly lines up with how people view a lot of these fast-moving, high-profile relationships. When you really look at it, some people are comparing this to how certain high-profile men move in other parts of the world, where they meet different women and keep things casual. That's the kind of vibe people are saying this situation had. The idea being that he was interested, maybe even a fan of her work, and that's what sparked everything in the first place. Situations like this happen more often than people realize, just usually behind the scenes. A lot of the time, these connections stay private because not everyone wants their personal life out in the open like that. But in this case, he wasn't exactly hiding. They were seen together, going on trips, spending time publicly, and that made everything way more visible. That alone had people thinking it might be more serious than it actually was. But then comes that shift people keep talking about. Sometimes, after spending real time together, perspectives change, and what seemed exciting at first doesn't feel the same anymore. That happens in a lot of fast-moving relationships, especially when everything starts off intense. From the outside, it looks like he may have reached that point, where he realized it wasn't something he wanted long-term. At the end of the day, it seems like expectations didn't fully line up, and that's where things started to fall apart. One side might have been thinking bigger picture, while the other was just living in the moment, and that difference can end things just as fast as they started. From how this whole situation played out, it really seems like marriage was never actually on the table for him. That idea just doesn't line up with how everything unfolded in the end. And when people look at similar situations, they start bringing up other examples to try and make sense of it. There was even another well-known adult film actress who got engaged in a very public way. Big moment, big attention, and then not long after, the relationship completely fell apart. That had people questioning what really goes on behind these high-profile relationships. So naturally, people start asking why this keeps happening. Some feel like it comes down to the lifestyle differences and how hard it can be to build something stable under that kind of spotlight. Being in that industry brings a certain level of public attention and expectations that not everyone is prepared to handle long term. That doesn't automatically mean relationships can't work, but it definitely adds pressure that most couples don't deal with. When you look across the board, people also point out how many individuals in that space appear to stay single or keep their relationships very private. And when they are in relationships, it's often with people closely tied to their professional world, which can make things even more complicated. All of this just shows how layered these situations are, and why things that seem solid at first can shift so quickly once reality sets in. A lot of people also point out that some of these relationships tend to be on and off, not always stable or long-lasting. From the outside looking in, it can seem like things don't always stay consistent, especially when both personal life and public image are constantly colliding. And when content creation is involved, sometimes partners even become part of that world, which can blur the lines between real life and work even more. Now, some critics take it further and argue that the lifestyle itself can make it harder to build a steady, private relationship. They question whether it's easy to separate personal feelings from a very public career, especially when everything is under a spotlight. That doesn't mean it's impossible, but it definitely adds challenges that not everyone is ready to handle. In this situation, some people believe those differences may have played a role in why things didn't last. Then, when you look at his side, it really comes across like he was enjoying the moment while it lasted, but eventually stepped back once reality kicked in. And once everything started getting attention online, it likely brought even more pressure into the mix. There's also talk that people close to him may have advised him to refocus on his career, his priorities, and his personal life, especially when things start getting this public and unpredictable. At the end of the day, a lot of people feel like if he wasn't in the position he's in, things probably wouldn't have even played out like this in the first place. That's just how some of these situations get viewed when status and attention are involved. But I want to hear what you think about all of this. Was it real? Was it just a phase? Or did things get blown way out of proportion? If you made it this far, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video so more people can join the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really trying to see where everyone stands on this one.
This is Isaiah Blackwell. You're locked in with the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.